And who do you think will win the Spence Porter fight?
Spence Porter fight. I think Spence has an advantage. Spence has an advantage, but it depends how Porter to prepare for the fight. Porter has also a good chance for Spence. It depends how they prepare. That's my
The big fight at the end of this month of your division, Spence Porter. Who do you look to win that
Oh
fight?
man, it's gonna be a good fight. Like I always tell everybody, we can't count Porter out. Porter's a hungry, determined fighter, and I didn't see him prove the doubters wrong many times before. And Spence, a good, strong fighter with great skill, great talent, and they got history of sparring each other, so they're gonna know what each other was, want to bring to the table come fight night. But at the same time, this ain't amateurs anymore. This is professional. And may the best man win.
And people, they kind of underrate Shawn's skills a little bit.
Of course. But you can't take nothing away from him. He was a two-time world champion. He did everything he had to do. A lot of people say he's a dirty fighter, but things happen in the ring, and at the end of the day, it's a fight. And nobody say, we was about to be playing pancake. It's a fight at the end of the day, and so we gonna headbutt. Sometimes you might elbow somebody. But at the end of the day, it's a fight.
Is that sometimes what's going to give a great fighter, a great boxer problems more than someone trying to box and be technical with him? Is a guy just trying to rough you up and be physical? Is that?
Well, it depends on the fighter. Some fighters get bothered by things like that. Some fighters don't. So again, it depends on the fighter and who he's fighting against.
Could you give me a little breakdown of what you think will happen at the show here with Spence Porter, and then of course we have.
I think Porter's going to give a much better fight than people expect. I think Shawn Porter's going to give a much better fight. I think it's going to be a close fight. I do. I feel that Spence should probably edge and win the fight. But if Porter puts on the pressure that he normally does, I think he would do very, very well and make it a very difficult fight for Spence. If Porter gets on the inside and fights hard on the inside, like he normally does, with a lot of pressure, a lot of volume and punches, I think he could do much better than people anticipate. I still feel that Spence should probably take it, but this should be a good fight.
What about Porter's next fight with Spence?
Porter and Spence, I think that's a good fight. I just feel like Spence is a stronger fighter, and I think with the youth behind him, I think Porter's been in a lot of wars. I just feel like Spence will kind of walk through this fight quite easily. I think he'll get I don't think he'll stop him. I think he'll go the distance, but he'll win unanimously.
Shawn Porter, Errol Spence. How do you see that?
I think that's an even matchup. I think that's even. I think it's an even matchup. After I seen Spence's last fight, he did good, but I thought he was gonna knock Mikey out. I just feel like he did his thing, but he didn't look dominant. Even though he won all the rounds, but he didn't look like how he looked against Peterson.
Did you learn anything in that Errol Spence Mike Garcia fight? Because a lot of people like yourself just said, well, I was expecting a knockout, but a lot of people, for example myself, I thought that he proved he could box very well, and we haven't seen him do that. Not because he couldn't, but maybe because he didn't have to in other fights. But I feel like he outboxed Mike Garcia.
Yeah, he definitely outboxed him. He outworked him. He did everything he was supposed to do to win, but since he fought a guy who was 2 weight classes smaller, even though Mikey's a good fighter and never lost before, you just expect certain things. Especially, you just destroyed Peterson,
Right.
Now, if you did that to him, it's like, oh. But it was like, okay, it's like you see something here that you could work with. It's not really what people are saying, you know what I mean? So to me as a fighter.
Right, so based off that experience, you would say the Errol Spence and Shawn Porter fight is 50-50 in your eyes?
I would give I think it's a 50-50 fight, but I would give Spence the slight favor just because he's fresher.
Yeah.
You know, Porter's been around. Like, we've been around. Like, we've been fighting each other. Like, so Spence is a little bit, but like I said before, I'll get Spence an edge, but both of them throw a lot of punches. Both of them are physically strong. Spence is just he hits harder, that's it. But I think style-wise, I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think
And you brought up Errol's last performance, but Shawn's last performance was also, there was a lot of questions that came out of that. A lot of people felt that Ugas actually won the fight, a big majority. What do you take from that fight? Did you happen to catch that fight first?
Yeah, I watched it.
And what'd you make of that performance of Shawn Porter and Yordenis Ugas?
I thought it was a close fight, but I thought he won.
You thought Shawn won?
Yeah, I thought Porter won. I thought Porter won by, it could have went either way, but I thought he won.
Sorry, they just announced Shawn Porter against Errol Spence Jr. How do you see that fight playing out?
¿Cómo piensas de esta pelea de Shawn Porter y Errol Spence?
No, es una buena pelea porque le están dando poca oportunidad. Pienso que tiene mucha oportunidad. Es un guerrero, un tremendo peleador con una gran historia. Y pienso que van a hacer una gran pelea ellos dos.
He said, yeah, that's a good fight. They just announced that fight. He beat him to get that fight. So he thought that it was a really good fight himself. And that he thinks it'll be a great fight that night.
Errol Spence, Shawn Porter, how do you see that fight playing out?
I think Spence is gonna beat him. Like, not easy, of course, but you know, as someone watching it from the outside, I believe that he's gonna beat him. If it goes to decision, it's probably gonna be a 8-4 to Spence. If Spence knocks him out, I'd say 8th, 9th round.
Spence, the bigger, taller, stronger guy, do you think he'll box smart or do you think he'll go after him?
You know what? Spence tends to bring out, Porter tends to bring out the ugly out of other fighters because he really does like to brawl. He likes to go in there and slug it out. Errol, he might try to keep his distance, but he's probably going to want to prove that he can go in there too.